My name is Amafrim Pomajuma. I'm a lawyer by profession. Presently, I manage SIC Life Savings and Loans. I am happy to be here for this interview. Oh, growing up, I think I wanted to have a voice. And I got the impression because of some few lawyers I encountered as a child, I felt being a lawyer was one of the best avenues to have a voice to be able to help my society. So when I finished my O-level exam, I got good grades. I got admitted to Legon to go read law in 1996. That was the last batch of A-level students who were admitted to do first degree law. But unfortunately, my mother didn't have the money to pay university fees at the time. And so I was made to go to the teacher training college for 3 years, finished, and then I taught for 3 years to gain steady leave to be able to go to the university. By the time I got admission to university, they were not doing law as a first degree course again. It was rather a post first degree program. So I had to find the first degree program to do. And then later, if I wanted to come back to the law, do it. So I taught for 3 years at the primary school, got steady leave, went to the university to do a 4-year post, a 4-year degree in English education, came back to teach again for another year in the secondary school. And then I went to start studying for the law. I came out as a teacher in 1999. I was sent to Fiapre, Roman Catholic JHS. I taught in Form 3. And then I went to teach in class 2 in a village school. I have taught in class 4 before. There are differences from secondary school, primary school, the JS, and especially in the rural setting around 2000, 2001, when poverty was very high. I taught in a school where um, the class 2 that I taught shared same space with class 3. And so sometimes when they're teaching, their noise comes into my class and vice versa. I've taught pupils who would come to school without sandals before. And sometimes you as a teacher would have to help support them to get their books and all of that. But I think things are getting better and the system is changing now, except that now I don't teach in those levels again. So I can't really speak to it. Even though formally I don't carry the title a teacher, I don't think I have even stopped teaching because as a mother, you continue to teach at home. As a lot of young girls see you today and they're like, you're their mentor. So I continue to teach, but maybe not in the formal setting. I was brought up by a teacher. I have uncles, aunties, in fact, almost everybody in my home going through the teacher training college. And I think the training I got in the teacher training college, St. Louis training, shaped my life. So it was part of the reason I didn't have to give up because at the time I was leaving St. Louis training, I was 9 months pregnant. And so I just didn't finish school. I finished school and had a baby. I had a second one, ordinarily in the Ghanaian setting, in the home environment where you're a woman, you've gone to school, a bed, you have kids, then you have to settle in and have a family. But because of what I saw and the training I got, I was not ready to settle. I was rather ready to give my life, make my life better, especially for my children, because I didn't want a situation where they would also get to a stage where they are able to pursue a program, but because of finances, you're not able to let them do that. I didn't want a repeat of what I went through. And so I pushed to become better. And maybe that's how I ended up where I am today. And I think it's a training I got from being a teacher. Also makes you empathetic towards people. And when you put yourself in people's shoes or feel for them because you've always walked their path before, it makes you appreciate what they're going through and you're able to help a bit more better. So being a teacher has really, I think that is shaped my life and it's made me a better person. No, if anything, being pregnant made me want to be a lawyer the more. I got pregnant at the age of 20. I had my child when I was 21, so I wasn't a teenager. I had finished teacher training college, and so I was in employment where I could be paid to take care of myself and my child, right? But back in 1999, when you finish teacher training college, you could teach for 6, 7 months and your salary hasn't been paid. That is what comes in later. They call it back pay. So in the early stages of my teaching life, especially with a fresh baby, because I finished school on 25th June, I delivered on 6th July. So that's like 2 weeks apart. And you have all your friends coming in school, fresh, young teachers, but you were a mother. And so automatically you mature. That was the time you're going to get your first salary. And so you should be enjoying life, maybe going to the clubs, doing this and all of that. But I had a baggage with me. I had a son. And then your salary was also not being paid. The man you got pregnant for is not in the picture. And so you can't live your life like your other colleagues who have also just come out of school. So it made me a bit more focused earlier. It made me a bit more determined to make life better for myself and for the boy who now depended solely on me. And so maybe pregnancy at the time wasn't the best decision, but it was also what propelled me to do better for myself and the boys I had. So I did not set out to go into politics. I think back in the university, we had this group TESCON, and then even when I went into school, when I went to University of Education, whenever a friend of mine, no, my roommate, had entered a pageant, Miss Liberty Hall, and I had come back from the house, was looking for a key, and I couldn't get it. So I went to see her to take her copy of the key, and she was rehearsing. Then I told them, "Oh, you guys are not doing this thing. Well, let me show you how it's done." I was just having fun. And I ended up joining the pageant and winning. So from there, I kind of started doing things that lead, like, we're going here, let's do this. Oh, we can do this. Oh, I would follow up for that. That kind of thing made me go join TESCON. My mother was into politics a bit back home. She was a region constituency women organizer around 2000, 2004. And so I had done a few works around the MPP. And I felt, okay, why not? If they need women to do things, we should be able to do it. And I also have always believed that when you leave it for the woman, she's able to do it better because of the empathy, because of the motherliness in there. But finally, I also believe we have left politics to a group of people, and then but we still would chastise them. So if we want to get it done, then let's all put hands on deck and let's get it done right. So I started small, small, and now somehow I don't know how it happened, but we're up here. So that's what it is. I don't think it's a Ghana thing. I think it's a worldwide thing. Seeing the first female vice president of the United States of America, and yet they are the beacon of democracy. We have Madam Ngozi from Nigeria, who is the first woman at World Trade Center. How long has that been? So it is not just politics, it's in the leadership roles and in all aspects of life. It's because no matter how hard we try it, the stereotypes are there, the biases are there. And so even me, when I started taking up these roles, there are times your mother will say, hey, they would insult you. Are you sure you're ready for this? And sometimes you're not ready for it. Sometimes your husband needs you at home. It's okay for the man to go out, but when it's the woman going out, the kids also need her at home. So the way we're made as women, we have challenges that make it difficult. And then most often too, we do not get the support. we all talk about equality and inequalities all over, but I think one of the places we don't look at is in leadership and especially in politics. If a man gets appointed, they automatically take a male as their PA. If a woman gets appointed, most often you find a woman with a male PA. And so even the process for a woman to get trained and move up the ladder, it's quite difficult. I remember when we finished law school, um, my senior, who was the managing partner at the time, we all go to court. He would then go home or go to the gym and rest, come back around 4 p.m. And that is why he's strolling in to come and give out files. You are a woman, you have a family. And so by 4 p.m., you should be going home to take care of the family. And that is why he's also back from the house and is going to dish out files that you should work on. So if you use your womanness, then you're not going to even get the file. So you sit there, the young male lawyers would come and they'll be doing better than you. It's same in most places. And so I think that we should make a conscious effort to reserve seats for women at a table. And I don't think that the women should be on those seats only because they are women, but they should be developed to fill those seats. And we should have a conscious plan to let that happen. Hmm. Role models. Come to think of it politically, I see people that I admire. Unfortunately for me in life, my mother has shown the road what to do most of the time. I haven't really said I've sat under this person or I've studied this person and I want to become like this person. I believe that we all have our individual path to cut. I pick bits and pieces from people. I like the boldness of Madame Eslausu. I love the calmness of lawyer Hannah Tete. She would make her point and still make it in a very calm way. I admire how Samir Uku is able to bring everybody around him, irrespective of their political colors. But I love especially President Kufuor for his wisdom and all of that. So there are bits and pieces that I pick from everybody, but I love Michelle Obama for the support that she gives to her husband and even having her own identity, not just because she's an ex-president's wife or even at the time as a first lady. So there are bits and pieces that I picked from everybody. But if there is anything that dictates my path in politics, it is my love for humanity and my love for God. Because if I love God, I'll love humans. And that would make me do right by any human being I encounter. So I think that should be it. They are there everywhere. But these days, they do it subtly. And so even in my own party, you see, they bring out a list and it's an all male list until you point to them that there isn't a lady in that list. Then, oh, we forgot. Oh, we thought this. It's subtly there. And so women are fighting twice, sometimes three times as much as the men to get recognition. Um, you find women doing all kinds. For me, maybe because I play around or I make joke out of it, I haven't seen like an actual discrimination against me. Like even this week, we've been fighting on social media all about some boys hangouts that they're going to have. We're all going. The team is boys, but we're all going at our age and even though we are women. So we're trying to make a conscious effort not to see it or make it have an effect on us. But I haven't really been this like explicit discrimination against me, but subtly in all angles. Every day I am fighting it. Every day I am fighting it. And I think that at some point it would end, but it's there. Discrimination is there in all areas of our political life. It would. We might not get half of them, but the numbers would improve. Look at our current parliamentary candidates. There are a lot of ladies, especially, at least I can speak to the MPP side because I do not know all the pieces at the NDC side, but our numbers have increased over the period. And so I'm sure with time, the women should also be encouraged and made to believe that they are capable, they're educated, they're intelligent, and all of that. And so they should be encouraged without feeling that, oh, once you come out, that it's a man's world, they will do this to you. They should look at the few who have done it and bring themselves up. Because when you go to our investors, you're getting plenty SRC presidents who are ladies. They are ladies going for nooks positions and all of that. But unfortunately, once they're done with school, then they get into the corporate world and they're comfortable. But if we leave the political stage for the men, they would only make rules that benefit men. And so let's encourage a lot more females to come, because if you're at the table and decisions are being made, you can speak for yourself and you can speak for your interest. I think that in 2020, when COVID happened, we felt it was bad. But post-COVID, everything has become possible. Now, we all know that we don't need brick and mortar to be able to work, that we can work virtually. And so for me, the tools we used during COVID are what I continue to use. So sometimes you're on a political campaign, but you're also on your phone doing play your official roles. Sometimes you are in the office and there is some information they need on the political scene and you're able to supply that. So it's been a mixture of both. But I think what has really helped is the fact that because I had kids early, my kids are adults now. And so I am not the everyday woman who has to rush home to take care of babies and all of that. My son, the last one, is 23. And so they can even take care of the house. So, and then I have a good support system, my mother, my sister. So it's been quite smooth for me. I think what I would say is that as women, we should believe in ourselves. We should build networks because we need them. You can't do it all by yourself. You need people. We should have a good support system. And we shouldn't see everybody as an enemy or an opponent, especially amongst ourselves as women, because most often you hear, oh, women are their own enemies. And so when we're doing it, we want to get the men's support first. But if you get a woman's support, it makes it easier for you to attract the men to also come and help out. But more especially, the men should help out and create spaces for women to be recognized.